But I have trusted in thy mercy. My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation. I will sing unto the Lord, because he hath dealt bountifully with me. Psalm 13:5-6. David completes his transformation from despair to confidence. The word "but" signals a dramatic shift in perspective. Despite his circumstances remaining unchanged, his outlook transforms. This conjunction marks one of Scripture's most powerful demonstrations of faith overcoming feelings. The phrase, "I have trusted in thy mercy," uses past tense to describe ongoing reality. David's trust exists as a fact, not wishful thinking. The word for trusted suggests leaning one's full weight on something solid. David places his entire spiritual weight on divine mercy. Thy mercy refers to God's love that never fails. This mercy operates separate from human performance or circumstances. It flows from God's character rather than human worthiness. David appeals to this unchanging attribute when everything else appears unstable. This trust represents a conscious choice rather than an emotional response. David's feelings suggest abandonment, but his will chooses confidence in God's mercy. He exercises faith despite contradictory evidence from his circumstances. This decision shows mature spirituality. Contemporary believers face similar choices daily. Their circumstances suggest God has forgotten them, and their emotions plead for despair or anger. Their minds question divine goodness, yet they can choose to trust in the Lord based on God's revealed character rather than current experiences. The declaration, "My heart shall rejoice in thy salvation," moves from trust to expected celebration. David speaks of future joy as present certainty. His heart will rejoice because God's salvation is guaranteed by divine character and the Lord's promises. The word salvation encompasses more than eternal deliverance. It includes rescue from current troubles, vindication of righteousness, and restoration of divine favor. David expects comprehensive deliverance that addresses all aspects of his distress. This confidence appears throughout Scripture when believers anchor hope in God's promises rather than present circumstances. Abraham believed in God's promise of descendants despite Sarah's barrenness. Moses expected deliverance from Egypt despite Pharaoh's resistance. Daniel maintained faith despite the lion's den. The phrase, "I will sing unto the Lord," represents the highest expression of worship and gratitude. Singing praises to God requires emotional engagement beyond mere intellectual acknowledgement. David commits to celebratory worship based on expected divine action. This commitment to future praise shows remarkable faith. David promises to sing before seeing results. He commits to worship while still experiencing distress. His decision to praise precedes divine intervention rather than following it. The practice of predetermined praise appears throughout biblical worship. The Israelites sang victory songs before Jericho's walls fell. Jehoshaphat sent singers ahead of his army into battle. Paul and Silas sang hymns in prison before their miraculous release. Contemporary believers can apply this principle during their trials. They can choose worship before seeing solutions. They can commit to praise during ongoing difficulties. This decision often precedes deliverance rather than following it. The last phrase, "because he hath dealt bountifully with me," provides the foundation for David's confidence. Previous experiences of divine goodness support present trust and future expectations. God's previous faithfulness guarantees continued blessing. The word "bountifully" suggests abundant generosity beyond basic needs. God doesn't just provide minimum requirements, but lavishes good things on his people. David remembers this pattern of divine generosity when current circumstances suggest otherwise. This remembrance of past mercies strengthens faith during present trials. Believers can catalogue God's previous interventions to build confidence for current challenges. Each answered prayer becomes a foundation for future trust. Every deliverance provides evidence for continued hope. The Psalm's progression from complaint to confidence offers a model for Christian prayer and spiritual growth. Believers can express honest emotions while maintaining ultimate trust in God's character.